everyone, my name is Michaelin, and it's been about 5,000 years since I last made a video for my YouTube channel. In the meantime, I actually started a blog, which I will link below. It's mlvreads.blogspot.com, and I also have a book-centric Instagram or Bookstagram account, and that's at mlvreads. So I thought it would be fun to get back into the swing of things with a book tag. This one in particular I really loved, and it is my most intimidating TBR books. So the first question is, what book have I been basically unable to finish, which is why it's still on my TBR. And I picked a couple for this. The first one that popped in my head was Naomi Novik's Uprooted. I got this last May and I started to read it in June, and I really think I got through about 3/4 of it, but I was in a slump at the time, and this sort of like magical fantasy thing wasn't really my style then, so I ended up putting it down and picking up something fluffy instead, and I just never got back to it, although I do plan on reading it eventually. And the other one I thought of was Sick in the Head by Judd Apatow. This is a book of conversations that Judd has with various comedians, writers, actors, stuff like that. All about comedy and about life, as it says in the bottom, conversation about life and comedy. And it's not really a book that demands to be read in one sitting or like the only book that you read, because you really can break it up. You can move throughout the book and pick and choose who you want to read about. The next intimidating TBR book is one that I just haven't had the time to read. And for this one, I'm going with Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And the main reason why I feel like I haven't had the time is because this book is so different from pretty much any other book that you read. Weird documents and photos and all kinds of things like that. And I've heard that the structure can be a little hard to get into, and I feel like it's something that I need to have a notebook, maybe to write down some notes, like key parts that I don't want to forget, especially since there's a sequel coming out in the fall this year. And yeah, so I just really want to make sure I have like a good amount of time, like a few days that I can set aside to just read this, not be distracted by other books or, you know, life obligations. Question number 3 is a book that I haven't read because it's a sequel. So for this one, I thought it would be really good to pick This Girl, which is considered book 3 in the Slammed series by one of my favorite authors, Colleen Hoover. I have not read this yet though, because even though it says it's book 3, it is actually the first book, Slammed, told from the male's perspective. Because it's coho, I will definitely be reading this, but I read Slammed not that long ago and I just don't feel like rereading it, so that's why I haven't read this yet. The next question is a book I haven't read because it's brand new, and even though it's been out almost a month now, I have not yet read Lady Midnight, the first book in the Dark Artifices series by Cassandra Clare. The last time I actually posted a video, I didn't even own the Mortal Instruments or the Infernal Devices, let alone read them. And this year, the first couple of months, another reason why I didn't do a video is because I focused like 100% on those 9 books. So I'm really excited to read this, but it's huge. I was in the Shadowhunter world for so long, I was neglecting all of my other books, and so I'm just letting everything settle. I'm actually reading the Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy novellas to kind of prepare for this as well. It's brand new, it's huge, and that is why I have not read it yet. Next up is a different book from an author that I had read before but didn't really care for. And I have not given up on this author. Many people like her. She seems to have a lot of interesting stories that kind of go in all different directions. But I haven't read the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout yet, because I read the, what the heck was that called? What was that called? Maybe that's what it was. I have not read this yet because I read like the White Hot Kiss trilogy that she did about like the demons and the gargoyles, and while I did read all 3 of them, I didn't love them. I kind of felt like I was just floating along. I never fully cared, and I didn't think her writing was bad. I thought she was really funny, but this is another like supernatural type of book, and I'm just worried that, especially since there's like 5 of them, that I will be bored, because I was kind of bored with the others. A TBR book that I have just not been in the mood for is Wild by Cheryl Strayed. You might know this because it was adapted into a movie starring Reese Witherspoon, and I've heard great things about both the book and about the movie, and I've heard amazing things about Cheryl Strayed in general. I haven't really sat down and read a nonfiction that wasn't some kind of like funny memoir. I just know it's gonna be like a really emotional journey, and I just don't know if I'm in the mood for something like that, especially one that's real. A book that's humongous on my TBR palette, I have a few. I have Infinite Jest on my Kindle, so I can't really show you how large that book is, but I can show you Stephen King's It, which is over 1,000 pages, and obviously very creepy. I've never seen the movie, but you know, a lot of people are scared of it, and a lot of people are scared of clowns, and Stephen King writes scary books, which is a huge reason of why I want to read this book, but also don't want to read this book, especially since I'd be trapped in it for, you know, 1,000+ pages. So it's humongous, it's scary, and that's why I haven't read it. The second to last question is a TBR book that was a cover buy, but has like bad reviews. I bought this at a library book sale, and I have no regrets for buying it. But Amy Soane's books in general, I think I read one in the past and I don't even remember it, don't have great reviews. Like, people seem to like her, but on Goodreads, I feel like most of her books are like 3-star average or less. This cover is awesome. I love the illustration of it. This part is like raised. It's just really cool looking, and I did think that the story sounded interesting, but I know that because of the weird reviews, that's been a huge reason of why I haven't picked it up and actually read it. And finally, the last TBR book that I have not read yet, because it is the most intimidating of all of them, is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. And I have been so curious about this book since it came out last year. This cover is so intriguing, but I think it also reflects why I might be nervous about reading it. Look at that. That is pain. That is torture. That is sadness. And it was a National Book Award finalist. Amazing reviews from people who've read it, but also tons of warnings that it's very emotionally draining. It's very rough. I want to read it though, because I think the story actually is worth reading considering all of those, but I know I need to be in a strong place, and even if I was in a strong place, I feel like I would still get a little like, do I want to mess that up with this? So I do hope to read it soon, but I mean, yeah, this is definitely, and it's over 700 pages, so at that length and with that emotional heft to it, that is why it is the most intimidating book on my TBR pile. And that's it. I would love to know the books that you have on your TBR that you haven't read yet, especially if there's particular reasons. Not just because you keep buying books and so you keep forgetting about the ones you bought before, but that have specific reasons behind them, like you're scared to read them, or maybe you just lost interest. Hopefully I will keep these videos going, but I will always be reviewing and writing various articles on my blog, and I try to post on my Instagram every single day. So come and check me out there, and I will see you guys next time.